To him today, that was our high. I sort of went 18 degrees, Barbara went 20. Well, you know, she's winning again, literally. She's had a good teacher, I think. Monday, August the 3rd, you're right here at Galaxy. Let me do this.
Galaxy 107 FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and for those of you that are joining us Facebook Live this morning, thank you so much for joining in. Now, if you're going to be watching this later on YouTube, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. Go on, give it a big smash, and also go on, hit that bell thing too for notifications. You know what I'm talking about. Believe me, you can't go wrong. We'll make sure that when you do hit that bell, you'll get the next and the next, and you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyway, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today we're joined, coming out of Ontario, by Ty Baynton, and I'll never know. You're right here at Galaxy. So we got a couple of minutes. How you feeling?
I'm always good.
Nice, nice. Do you have a stiff drink?
Do I have a what?
A stiff drink.
I had a coffee earlier, but I don't think that counts.
No. Believe me, by the end of this, you might need one.
Challenge accepted.
Nice, like it. By the way, do you go kicking cowboys often?
Yeah, they're actually one of my clothing sponsors, so if it weren't for them, I probably wouldn't have any clothes.
You have to go and kick a cowboy to get a t-shirt. What did you have to do to get the hat then?
Don't want to know.
Yeah, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Oh my goodness. So, Ty, welcome to Galaxy. It is an absolute pleasure to finally meet you.
Well, thanks for having me on. I think this is the first time I've done an interview with anybody in New Zealand.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you.
Well, you know, sometimes you draw the short straw, right?
Yeah, well, you lucked out this time, I tell you, bro. One of your songs that we're going to be playing is You Weren't the One.
Yep.
Really? I thought I was, and you'd never forget me.
Well, I mean, it happens, right?
We'll work into that. We really will. She was wrong next after this one, so we'll go live right now. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. It is 12 after 11 o'clock, 26 degrees. It's climbing. That's not winter, it really isn't winter.
Well,
if you're 26 degrees, that's summer stuff.
yeah.
Don't you think? We should be about 13, 15 degrees. Not today. Literally, it's absolutely blistering here in the middle of winter. Monday, August the 3rd, and absolutely elated. I really am to be joined by Ty Baynton. I hope I got that right, Ty.
Yes, you do.
Nice. I mean, it took me all month one night to learn that. It really did. I struggled with it for a while, I got to be honest with you. Our interpretation of the English language and other people's sometimes don't quite match up. You know what I mean?
Well, it's also my job to make your job difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. If it wasn't for people like you, I wouldn't have a job.
Exactly.
There you go. And I want you to keep up what you're doing, believe me, because we love your work right here at Galaxy. We really, really do. And I'm not just speaking for myself. I'm talking about the whole staff. We absolutely love it, including the production team, everybody in there. And believe me, I've been an engineer now for, 30-something, almost 40 years. And I don't listen to music like a fan would. I listen to it like an engineer, like a DJ would, not only doing, studio engineering, but front of house as well. So you break it down into increments. Now, I got to be honest with you, Ty, I can't fault your work. Where did you get, let's talk, first of all, let's talk about I'll Never Know. Tell me a little bit about it. Where did the lyrics come from?
The lyrics, I sat down and the co-writer that I was writing with had just gone through a divorce and didn't quite have all of the answers that he was hoping he would have and was still a little lost about the whole thing. And we started playing around with that, but I'm a big Tom Petty fan. And I was kind of just playing around with chords somewhat similar to Learning to Fly. And we flipped the minor and played around with some stuff, and it all kind of came out in about 20, 30 minutes, and it was just a lot of fun, and we ran with it and kind of worked through all of that with him and got a good song out of it.
Some of the best songs in the world, they survive the longevity, if you know what I mean. Are done, like, within a couple of minutes, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
I get the feel of I'll Never Know is exactly that way. It really is. It's going to be around for a long time.
Well, thank you.
I'm absolutely loving it. I really, really am. Now, at the same time, Ty, I suppose we should get the official stuff out of the way, shouldn't we, Barbara? First of all, we've got to give a big shout out to Laurie Brown.
Yeah, and Cheryl Schofield.
And Cheryl Schofield as well, for introducing us to Ty and bringing his music to Galaxy. Believe me, Ty, it's not easy to get an interview with us here at Galaxy. Barbara gets between 20, 30 bands a day, sometimes 50 bands, that she's got to work through, and, we only the best. She only chooses the best. That then goes to production. Her and production sort of whittle that down again. Then it goes to a board, and it could be anything from 8 to 12 people on the board. Their only interest, literally, Ty, is it's got to be good. We have a reputation. We want to keep that reputation, so it's got to meet those standards. After that, it comes to me. And I get it on a little USB kind of thing that I Bluetooth in my car, literally. Now, 2 reasons for it being in my car. First reason is nobody else can influence me on whether I want to do the interview or not. It's based on the music. I have no idea who it is, what it is, anything about it, just listening to it. The other reason, Ty, is nobody wants to drive with me.
You're that good of a driver.
Oh, yeah, they don't like sideways, apparently. I don't know why. It's fun.
It's more fun that way.
It is, gravel road, sideways, hey, what the heck, And stereo blasting, the whole enchilada, my friend, believe me, it is, it happens that way. So I got to congratulate you. You've ticked all the boxes, and you've arrived here. Now I feel sorry for you because you've got me to put up with, and, you'll never get over it, I'm sure of it.
It could be worse.
Yeah, could be on the back of a horse.
Depends on the horse.
Yeah, you got to be friendly with these things and they'll be friendly right back, but it doesn't sound like you're so friendly. You're a saddle bronc rider. Tell me a little bit about that.
I spent a lot of time performing at the rodeos, and I just ended up doing the entire Ram Rodeo tour the one summer, and basically figured I'm here anyway, I might as well do something stupid. So I hopped on a horse and hung on for 8 seconds.
That's crazy. You know how heavy those things are?
Yeah, they're like 1,500 pounds.
Yeah.
The bigger ones are about 2,000.
Exactly. That's like arm wrestling with a pickup.
Yeah, except this one, if it stomps on you, can do a lot of damage, which I found out the hard way.
Well, depending on where you're landing with the pickup as well. But I got to ask you, now I did notice something. Tell me a little bit about mule skinners and your association with mule skinner. Have you got a fetish about taking the clothes off a donkey?
It's mule spinner, not Skinner.
Ah, okay. No, I was told in there to talk about mules. I really was worried about the poor ass.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But no, it's a venue that isn't far from here. When we put out this album, I wanted to do kind of a more stripped down acoustic version of things on the album, and it just ended up being the perfect venue and setting and stuff to capture what we were trying to do. So the boys and I just rolled in one day and set everything up and did them all in the same afternoon. And my buddy Corey from Tour Bus Entertainment did a phenomenal job on all the video work for it, and I couldn't be happier with the way it turned out.
Absolutely love it. I want to talk to you about kicking cowboys as we go through there as well, because believe me, I think that would be a sport I could get into. But in the meantime, I do have a fan question for you, my friend. Now, how do we get hold of you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? But more importantly, Ty, do you respond?
I do respond. I'm on Instagram primarily. I do have Facebook and Twitter that I post to as well. And it is me responding. So if you or anybody else shoots me a message and is asking questions and stuff, it's actually me responding. But somehow I got lucky. I'm apparently the only person with this name, so I'm pretty easy to find. My website's just tybaynton.com, and it has links to absolutely everything from there.
Nice. Do you have a merch store on your website?
I do have a merch store. Actually, Kicking Cowboy Designs, who are one of my sponsors, actually deal with all of my merchandise and the shipping, which means as of about a week ago, I can now ship international.
Nice, because believe me, I'm going to talk to you about that a little later down the track. But believe me, first of all, she was wrong. Why was she wrong?
So when we were putting this record together, at the time, one of my co-writers that I write with quite frequently, Shard Morrison, brought up the fact that there wasn't a single breakup song on this record. And he's like, man, if you're putting an album together, because typically you want to try and have stuff that touches on every type of emotion, so that regardless what mindset or state someone's in, there's something for them on that record that they can go to and listen. And I'm usually not the sad, depressed, woe is me. I don't really write many breakup songs, but he kept pushing it, saying we need something. So my sarcastic sense of humor came up with the idea for She Was Wrong, and ended up writing about that, and we were pretty much killing ourselves laughing the whole time, and it's more just poking fun at the whole situation. We keep joking that we should release it to radio in and around Valentine's Day just for the fun of it.
I like that. I really do. I'm going to play it on Valentine's Day. Next one coming around. Going to do that right here live with Ty Baynton. I can't hear my name. She was wrong. How you feeling, Ty? You right?
I'm always good, yeah.
Nice. Maybe I'll need a stiff drink at the end of this one.
I have that effect on people.
Yeah, normally I do too.
Well, you got to work harder then.
That's why it comes up with a warning right from the start. You might need a stiff drink.
Yeah, you have to be in a room with people better than you. That's what Bobby said.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, my friend, you don't have to be nuts to work here, but it bloody well helps.
I think that's par for the course for the entire music industry.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the other side is they're just whack.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
If you're a safe, normal person, don't be anywhere near the music industry.
No, don't do that. Now, I see Hot 103 on your guitar case over there. Is that a radio station?
It is. That one's out of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Okay, well, we are Hot Radio Beats 107, so we beat it.
So what I'm hearing is you need to send me a sticker.
Ah, okay. I'll post her over anytime you want.
I'm holding you to that.
She'll lick your windscreen. Dear.
Well, here's some stickers being printed. We'll send you 100 or more.
Yeah, well,
You put them over every artist's case.
Yeah, just don't put them on the back end of a horse.
No, they won't stick.
No promises.
Yeah, okay. Let's go back to the desk. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM and 24 after 11 o'clock, 24 degrees. Yeah, it's winter, really. Can't convince me of that, really. It's more midsummer. Monday, August the 3rd, and I'm joined by Ty. He's going to say the last name. Ty, I apologise, I really am, because it's not often that I actually get a name
Baynton.
that I trip over, and I think Baynton is one of those that I can fall over quite regularly, to be very honest. But I tell you what, I was about to say to you, of course, that I've done engineering, once or twice in about 30 plus something years, and, well, I can't fault your work. I really, really can't. Now, where did you get this recorded? Who was your producer?
So my producer, I produced it myself with a longtime friend of mine and a guy who was my drummer for a number of years on the road, Sean Moore. And we went to Blackbird Studios in Nashville, which is John McBride's studio, and we recorded there. And we have toured extensively. I've done 150 to 200 shows a year for probably 7-8 years running now. And we really wanted to capture what we sound like in a live setting. I didn't want it to be this overly produced and compressed and, polished project. To me, the best part of music is, you might be playing it and there might be a mistake here and there, but to me, that's what adds character to it.
It's basically rawality, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And, there's a lot of songs that I hear where you can tell that they recorded one chorus and just copy and paste it through the song. And to me, it's those minor little changes in how you hit the notes that add that character to the song. And we recorded all of this live off the floor. So it was drums, bass, rhythm guitar, and me singing all live at the same time. And I think we only did 2 or 3 takes of each song. It's not a whole bunch of overdubs and stuff. We went back and we wrote the guitar parts after the fact. But the core of all those songs were done live off the floor. There was no demo tape done ahead of time. It was an acoustic version of me off of my iPhone that the boys got sent. And we jumped in and we worked through it in the studio together. And the biggest compliment I've ever had is someone was playing a live video of us performing, I believe, in a place called Mississauga. And if the crowd noise wasn't in the background, you couldn't tell the difference between the record and the live recording. And to me, that was exactly what we were going for.
I love it. I really, really do. And, well, much respect to you, believe me, as an engineer. I like people to come in, keep me employed inside the studio, you know what I mean? And I like to give the polished article, or the final article, that absolute polishment. But that's what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? I like the concept of what you're doing. I really, really do. Now, at the same time, and believe me, it's surreal times right now, especially with the COVID virus. How are you going over there with that?
You know what? We're doing a lot better than the states south of the border to us. But all the major festivals and touring stops and stuff have basically been canceled for this year. It'll probably be next year that things start picking up. but there's starting to be smaller, 50 to 100 people gatherings. I've done a bunch of shows just sitting on the tailgate of my truck for people who have come out. So we're getting to a point where we can start going out, but as far as the music industry goes, there's probably not going to be a lot going on until next year. And at first, that was kind of a hard pill to swallow, especially for someone like me who's used to being on the road for 8-10 months out of the year performing extensively. But it's you don't realize how much you need some time to yourself and to unwind and relax until you finally get it. And so far, as crazy as it's been nice to just spend some time at home and with loved ones and family and all that, and have some time to write a little bit more and prepare for, we're going to be back in the recording studio in November working on a new album. So being able to start piecing that together a little bit earlier than I normally would in a touring season.
Totally understand, but having said that as well, now it gives you that little extra time to write new music. Are you looking at another album EP coming out after this one?
Absolutely. We're going to be recording in November. What I'm basically doing from here on out is doing a 6-track EP album every single year. So there'll be 6 songs recorded. The first track will be out late June, early July. The second track will be out late January, early February. So we'll be putting 2 songs to radio off each album. But every single year there's going to be new material coming out.
So will you come back again where you release new music with us? And believe me, we are working our way to Canadian Country Boy. I'm absolutely looking forward to releasing that. I'll give you a few details about that as we go. But believe me, we would be honoured if you would come back again, do another interview with us. Would you consider that?
Anytime you want me back, I'm more than happy to come.
Ah, you're sadistic as well. I get it. I do.
Yeah.
I like it. Sounds like a good time, actually.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Tell me all about Sounds Like a Good Time.
I was actually visiting some friends of mine down in Nashville, and we do things here called writers' rounds, where there'll be anywhere from 3 to 5 people up on stage, all sitting on bar stools, and you kind of go down the line and you tell the story behind a song and you play it. And I was sitting at the bar chatting with a friend of mine, and the writers on stage were kind of just chatting between songs, and I wasn't really paying attention, but one of them threw a line out, "Yeah, man, that sounds like a good time." And I kind of stopped and I went, "That sounds like a song title." So I got back to my buddy's condo that night and I said, "Man, I have an idea for a song. This is what I'm thinking." And it was about 3 in the morning and he was in a condo complex. So I had to take one of his electric guitars and have it not plugged in so it didn't really make any noise, so we didn't wake everybody up. But we kind of went, this is the song title, this is kind of what we see, the song shaping up to be. And we wrote most of it that night. And we happened to write this about a month before I jumped in the studio to record this album. And it just got stuck in my head. And I said, nope, this has to be on the record. And pulled it all together. And the rough recording on the iPhone that I have is basically just an acoustic version of what wound up on the record. We didn't really change a whole lot.
Well, I got to be honest with you, I love this track. I really, really do. It was the first song that I heard of yours while I was driving in my car, and I absolutely thought this is a winner. It really is. This was the song that made me decide that I actually wanted to do the interview. So here's Ty Baynton. Baynton? I'm going to get it right by the end of this, believe me. Sounds like a good time. Oh my God, I'm sorry, bro. It sounds like you've got sore feet.
I think what we should do is, you said I need a stiff drink. I think every time you mess up my last name, you should do a shot.
Oh, absolutely.
yes.
I'm right there with that. Have you ever... Do you like drinking games?
I'm pretty good at drinking games. Usually, whoever I'm playing with loses.
Okay, well, try... Do you remember The Police?
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember...
Are you talking about Roxanne?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. It's a classic drinking game, that one.
To that, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll get gear.
I'm aware of that one.
No,
We'll get gear involved in that one.
You couldn't keep up, but...
No, I couldn't, but
No,
I'll
Gear
can I sub in somebody?
I mean, you can try whatever you want. You're still probably not going to win.
I'll bring my own drinking guy.
You're going to have a full team and it's just going to be me. Is that how it's going to go?
Absolutely. We're Kiwis. We
So
share
now
the
I'm going to
love.
have to take care of like 4 or 5 of you by the end of it?
Well, maybe, but, you know, I got a couple of Vikings that I'll bring along.
I'm not too worried.
Oh, believe
No,
me.
there you go. Country boy.
Geir Miranda, he's actually the manager for a heavy metal band in Norway called Viking Queen. He's a very good friend of mine. Now, he's got his own label on vodka. And believe
His
me,
beers.
he throws this stuff down. You know, I can be sitting there talking to him in a night and he's gone through a bottle plus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That scares me because in that period of time I might have gone through maybe a shot.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies like that.
Oof. Gear can put it
Well, he
away.
must
He
be
can.
good at drinking moonshine.
Yeah, well, he might be good at drinking moonshine. I can deal with some of that.
Yeah, but it knocks you off your ass.
It does not. I tell you what, the last stuff I had, I got tore up from the floor up.
I
I tell
know.
you.
Rock for a few days.
Let's go back to the desk.
Girl, I'm begging you to try. Want you to pull me close, wrap yourself around me. 'Cause there's tangled up in mine. Your hair's tangled up in mine. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, like a good time.
Galaxy FM.
That's right, you're right here. Galaxy 107 FM. Sorry, Ty. Something went through my mind right there. Are you familiar with Darth Vader from Star Wars?
Absolutely.
Okay, you know that lightsaber thing he's got there? Well, yeah. You got to be quick around here. You got to duck fast. Believe me, it's a hard hat area sometimes, I tell you.
Yeah, you got to be careful.
You do. You know, you ride horses, me. I duck phones. I do, believe me. Now, having said that, 62 countries, 94 cities around the world tuned in this morning, joining us here at Galaxy 107 FM, and absolutely elated to be joined by Ty, the man himself. Now, Ty, you've been playing since you were about 14 years of age. Now, I've got to ask you, is that your grandfather's guitar?
Yeah, it is. This is a 1942 Gibson L00 that he bought brand new.
You know, I did my homework. I read everything. I assimilated everything. Thought it might have been because the way you're holding it, really, very, very treasured item, that one there. And I'm just wondering if that's the carry case for it.
That's not the original carry case. I do have the original one, but that's actually a custom case that is more or less indestructible.
Got it, absolutely. So, what about the poor item in the background there? Looks rather lonely now.
The other guitar?
Yeah. Bet you can't play both at once.
You could try. It wouldn't sound very good.
Stack
But
it up.
I'm sure you could figure it out.
Yeah, stack it up. Let's see what happens. Literally. Now, I think it's time to give your sponsors a bit of a plug. Tell me about Kicking Cowboy.
Kicking Cowboy is a clothing company that I met through the rodeo scene probably 5 or 6 years ago. And they've always done just about everything they can to help me out along the way, mainly just making sure I have clothes. But they're an incredible company. They've got great products and stuff. And I was actually up at their store yesterday doing a tailgate show for them. And they've actually partnered with me to help with all of my merchandise and all that stuff. So as of about a week ago, people can actually go to my website and to the merch store and order shirts and hats and CDs, and they're capable of shipping internationally for me now, which is absolutely incredible.
Well, I'm going to talk to you very, very closely about this, because how would you like to send us, you know, some CDs, maybe a couple of T-shirts, bit of merch and stuff that we could use as a giveaway here at Galaxy, you know, and believe me, with the amount of people that listen to us, they would absolutely grab at some Ty wear, if you want to put it like that, especially. And, no, I wasn't talking ropes. No, no, that's wrong. But and some CDs and stuff like that, because believe me, we would love to be able to keep you rolling here at Galaxy, and believe me, I know, because we play you in a number of shows here. We do you on a Sunday in the country artists here, on a Monday night, which is tonight too, by the way. You're going to be in there as well in the Galaxy artists, and I've been playing you because I do the breakfast show, and it's based on requests, pretty much. How many people throughout the prior 24 hours want to have particular songs, and you've started frequenting my breakfast show quite a bit just lately. Now, what's the secret behind your success? I know you've been singing and songwriting since 15, but how did you become seasoned? Road trips, lots and lots of road trips. Tell me about your life a little bit in, 1,000 words or less.
So like a short essay format, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start at the beginning. You were born.
I was, yeah. It's usually how it starts.
Kind of.
No, when I first started playing it, it was just for fun, and I mean, a lot of it's still for fun. But when I started looking at this as a career, my biggest focus was on the writing side. You can have somebody who has an incredible voice, you can have somebody who's a very good musician, but at the end of the day, if you're not good at writing and coming up with your own material and stuff, you're just going to be a cover artist. And I spent a long time writing, 2-3 times a day. I still write quite frequently, but getting to the point where I was able to find my own style and structure to the songs. But then I spent, a good 7, 8, 9 years playing 150, 200 plus shows a year, because to me, it's one thing to be able to go into a recording studio and get something that sounds good. But the worst thing that I've ever found is when you hear something from an artist and you love it and you're excited to see them play live, and you go and see them play live and they just don't live up to what you're hearing on the album. Mm-hmm. And for me, it's just a love of what I do. And, we were talking earlier that to be in the music industry, whether you're on the radio side of it or my side of it, you got to be a little bit crazy. And, whether I was able to make a living doing this or not, I'd still be stupid enough to keep doing it. And honestly, I think in a lot of cases with music, that's kind of the secret to success. Is it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. And the people who get in it because, they want the fame and the fortune and all that, they're the ones who are here for a year or two and then they're gone. It's the stupid people like you and I who just happen to love what we're doing, who are still here 8, 9, 10, 20, 30 years down the road just because it's what we love to do. And I think at the end of the day, that's what comes through in the music and what I'm lucky enough to create for a career, which is still weird to say.
Well, I gotta agree with you. I really, really do. And even myself, I've been accused of being the godfather of radio today. So, weird, really, it's really weird. I should be part of the mafia now. Have a big cigar and a stretch limousine, but not so much. Now, having said that, I see you've done supporting for Gord Banford, Chad Brownlee, High Valley, absolutely love them, Tim Hips, Blake Sheldon. Now, we know Gord very, very well. In fact, he drops a few songs off with us every now and again, if you know what I mean, comes back for an interview. Having said that, have you never played for Keith Urban?
I haven't had the chance to play with Keith Urban, but I've definitely seen Keith perform, and he's a hell of a guitar player.
Yeah, well, he's a Kiwi.
So that explains it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Believe me, the indigenous folks of New Zealand, every one of them knows how to play a guitar. They really do. And 3 chords, yinka-tinka, you know what I mean.
Yep.
And then they start singing 10 guitars or something. Oh, man. Brings the house down.
Yep.
It does, truly. And of course, that's where he got his first guitar lessons from, is from, just that. And believe me, I think if I remember right, it was actually a ukulele that he first started to play with.
Well, I know he still does a lot of his writing on a banjo.
Some-
Which
yeah.
I know as a songwriter, we all kind of have our medium that we go to, whether it's a piano or a guitar or whatnot. But I think he's the only person I know of who writes on a banjo.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, that it's quirky, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, original. But I tell you what, look at his success. Look at what he produces. Look at what he's bringing out. Now, as an engineer, you mentioned about how you like the live stuff and everything like that. You know, as a front of house engineer, you're exciting me. You really are, because that's what I would want in a band if I was, you know, working for you as a front of house. As a studio engineer, that's scaring the living hell out of me because I want to polish it. I want to make it the best ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like the way you approach it. You bring that front of house engineer into the studio and, well, let's have some fun. That's what I liked about this album. Having said that, I really think, you know, you could have some sweet dreams about this. You really could. You know, as an engineer, it could be just, you know, tell me about sweet dreams.
Jesus, that's going back almost a decade now.
That's
I think
good.
that was the first track that got recorded off the very first EP album I ever put out. So we would have started recording that in 2011.
You know,
That's going back a ways.
You know-
to be honest, I can't remember much about the writing process of that at all. I've written so many songs since then. I don't even remember the last time I listened to that
Oh,
song.
well, I tell you what, our investigative team, literally, and our production team, and everything that comes together to put these shows together, have done their work. So right here is Ty with Sweet Dreams. Truly, bro, they have gone through and found a whole host of stuff that we played for you, of yours.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, we like your work. We do. Absolutely love it. And I'm looking
So
forward
what you're
to...
saying is you're all crazy.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. We are beyond help. You know, certifiable.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we're stuck in this land. We can't get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are stuck in this...
Yeah.
You know what, bro? New Zealand is made up of 3 islands. Right down the very bottom, we have something we call Stewart Island. After that, we forgot how to be original and called the next one South. And no imagination comes north. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're Stewart Island, got a name. Then South and North Island, yay. The planners just could, yeah, what were they thinking?
Like it could have been Middle Island.
Well, you know, look, you see, I'm the type of guy that likes to rename things. And I've got to be honest with you, I like to rename a lot of things. But have you realised, I mean, scientists these days are finding more habitable planets out in the universe, right?
Yeah.
Yep, and some of them have got moons. So we have the audacity not only to name that planet, it might be somebody else's backyard, but bugger it, we're going to name it, right? But they're moons as well. And these moons have names. But then again, ours is called Moon.
Yes.
Yeah, how original is that? I want to rename it.
And what would you rename it to?
Celestial Body Brian.
Perfect. That's much easier to say than Moon.
Yeah, exactly, and it really is. And besides, it's more difficult to write on a check, right?
This is true.
Celestial
No,
Body
no one
Brian.
has checks these days.
Nobody has checks these days.
No.
Well, this is true. It's all plastic these days, isn't it? Even I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
Got to be honest with you, I am. But, yeah. Ty, would you consider coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences once this COVID thing's all well and done?
I would love to. I'd just make a vacation out of it.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's talk about it. Because I'm thinking maybe about
Hunting.
5 shows here in New Zealand, skip over the ditch over to Australia, do about 8 shows over there, only because we like their money, right?
Absolutely. And what I heard earlier is that you're going to be the front of house sound technician for this.
Probably. Probably. I do have people that work for me, you know, that do that sort of thing.
Well, we've already got it all figured out then.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather be out in the green room with you getting on the terps. I did my career in front of house, believe me. I know what I was missing because I'm living the dream now. Hold on.
Dreaming about the way you smile, how it feels when we touch. It's like time slows down and there's no need.
It's a nice song.
Just know that I'm feeling that you in my arms. Baby, you're beautiful just the way you are. And go say it every night, can't hurt to say it one more time. Sweet dreams, baby. Oh, I'll see you in
Galaxy FM.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, 11 away from 12 o'clock, 25.1 degrees. It's not winter, it isn't. It really isn't, but it's pleasant. I'm liking that. Better than gloomy, muddy and yucky kind of stuff, unless you're in a four-wheel drive, right? Monday, August the 3rd, and I'm joined by Ty. And Ty, I want to know about the Toronto Independent Music Awards. What was that like?
There's a whole bunch of different organizations in Canada for music. There's the Canadian Country Music Awards, which is a national level. Then you've got the CMA of Ontario, which is a provincial level. But then a whole bunch of different cities have their own kind of independent music awards where it encompasses a whole bunch of different genres. And it's always a lot of fun for me when you get to be a part of that because it exposes you to artists and industry members and stuff that you normally wouldn't run into in your regular, tour schedule or within your genre and stuff in the industry. And I find it often leads to interesting collaborations between people you wouldn't typically run into.
I get it. I really, really do. Because believe me, we speak to a lot of people that have not only been nominated for major awards but won them, right down to walking the red carpet at the Grammys and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We speak to a huge amount of people, including Syeda Garrett, who was the not only one of the writers for Michael Jackson, but performed with him for many, many years. So, we sort of rub shoulders with some very, very important people, much like yourself. Now, having said that, just through this particular break that we were in, I just mentioned to you, would you consider coming to New Zealand and playing in front of New Zealand audiences? But we're kind of crazy. You've already just discovered that. Are you up for a few challenges while you're here?
Absolutely. I mean, if you were normal, we wouldn't get along. So the fact you're crazy is a good thing.
Well, we're getting off on the right foot right away. I feel sorry for you now, I really do. Not only are you going to get another 5,000 Facebook fans because you said you answered everybody text, but, well, we're going to send video around the world of this as well. So, having said that, have you ever heard of a hoo-hoo grub?
I have, but I can't remember why.
Interesting, literally. You're familiar with a caterpillar, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, it's a caterpillar on steroids, really. It's like a double-decker bus to a mini, got to be honest with you. And what you do is, when you put the live body in your head, it's white, it's got a black head, rip off the black head, it doesn't taste so nice, but when you crunch down on the body, it tastes like creamy peanut butter.
Really?
Yeah, now, this is something we do to all of our internationals when they come into New Zealand. Barbara is the manager of Aurora Entertainment, which, Canadians could actually identify with somehow. Maybe out Saskatchewan way, you never know. But believe me, she's the manager of Aurora and she brings bands into the country. Now, she does all the logistics, gets the staging, get the back line, everything you want, right down to the visas. Barbara is the lady. She really does. She has people working for her that makes the whole ordeal successful. Now, having said that, we like to play here. You know what I mean? We don't want it too much work. You got to have a bit of play in between. We're thinking maybe about 5 shows here in New Zealand, maybe about 8 shows in Australia, believe me. But we'll miss out Victoria. I was talking to an Australian female just this morning, and she says, this COVID virus thing. We kind of liken it to the Spice Girls over here in Australia. I went, how's that? She goes, well, we're all doing our best except Victoria. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, well, you know, that's Australians for you. Yeah, it really is. But, you know, we'll do about half a dozen 8 shows over there because we do like their money. It really is nice to go away with, you know. If they're going to bestow anything on us, may it be money. Yeah, having said that. Now, this is the Hoo Hoo Grub. The Indigenous folks of New Zealand still have this today, and they are called the Maori here in New Zealand, as in a delicacy, and still eat them today. So believe me, alcohol, lots and lots of alcohol involved here, before, possibly during if you can manage it, and maybe afterwards, you know.
As long as you can keep up with me, we're fine.
Good, I'm in for this, I really am, because
Challenge.
I'm up for a challenge, I am, you know, but as I said, I'm allowed to sub. I established this, you know, I can sub somebody in for me.
So you're eating the worm and Gare's going to have the booze.
I'm eating the worm and Gare's going to have the booze?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Well, I've had many of them. Now, down the South Island, the west coast of the South Island, that's the one in the middle now. We've established this, you know, name, no name, and sort of, well, you know, the one in the middle is a place called Hokitika. Now, down there, they have a wild foods festival. Well, frankly, they just deep fry stuff you really shouldn't deep fry, to be honest with you. But, you know, you're familiar with festivals, you know, kids wandering around, candy floss, hot dogs, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, not there. It's more you might find a kid wandering around with a deep fried locust on a stick.
I mean, hey, you can pretty much deep fry anything.
Well, I've been going there for a number of years now, and have spoken to many of people on the board that through this particular festival. I keep saying to them, you know, dip women in chocolate. It'll be the best stall out, really. You know what I mean? I'm still yet to get them to take me seriously.
Well, you can keep trying.
I can. Hokitika, a great place too, by the way, Hokitika. They have a greenstone factory down there, all sorts of things. I come from a couple of kilometres up the road in Westport, and I started my career as a radio announcer in Greymouth, which is in the middle of there, so, you know, very, very close, so like that. But then we'll take you down to a place called Queenstown. Now, down in Queenstown, you'll love it. You really, really will. It's a little boutique town come city where all the A-listers from around the world go and hide. Get away from their friends. You know, they get away from their mates. Get away from their friends, take their mates. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Good. It's basically you can get on the source down there and no worries. I mean, Shania Twain owns property down there. Kevin Costner was down there not so long ago. Tom Cruise, Keanu Reeves. You never know who you're going to bump into down there. But you don't want to bump into me. Well, you don't, because I'll throw you off a bridge.
I mean, I'm pretty heavy. You might have a bit of a challenge with that.
No, you'll go. You'll go, don't worry. You will go. We have a thing there called bungee jumping.
Oh, okay.
Right? And, well, seeing you're not Australian, we'll attach the bungee, right?
That'd be appreciated.
Yeah, make you a yo-yo. I have a lot of people say to me, will you do it with me? Yeah, absolutely. I know AJ Hackett, the man that brought it into the country, believe me. He's been doing it almost 40 years now. He's been doing it for some time. He's, you know, thrown a lot of people off a bridge. He really, really has. And he's even done it in Auckland. I've done it with him. I have.
Yes.
So believe me, lots of fun. Might even put you on the big swing. It takes you out over this big canyon thing.
Not me.
Yeah, lots of fun. Lots of fun. If it doesn't get this going, you're not having fun, right?
Absolutely.
Now, we've covered the hoo-hoo grub. We've covered the bungee jump. Have you ever heard of a Zorb?
I haven't.
Okay, ZORB, by the way. It's a big, round plastic ball. Now, lots of alcohol beforehand. You'll appreciate it during. Believe me, you will. Because we put you in it, roll you down a hill.
That sounds like fun.
Now, all of this, I'm going to give you, I'll get Barbara to send you the instructional videos, you know, so that you know I'm not pulling your leg. Now, we'll even put some runners in front of you so that, you know, well, this is where the alcohol comes in, because when you run over them, the looks on their faces is priceless.
But do I get points for however many people I can run over?
Yeah, depending on how many times you want to have a go at it.
Perfect.
Yeah, you know, believe me, I've done it more than once, and the first time I tried it, had to have at least 3 or 4 more turns. You know what I mean? Lots of fun.
Absolutely.
It is, lots of fun. And, you know, there's plenty of juice in there anyway, so, you know, and we've got a host later, so no worries, you'll be right. Do you remember Lord of the Rings? Have you ever seen it?
I have, yeah.
Okay, well, where we are right here in Kawerau, we're in between 3 major cities. Actually, Rotorua, which is a indigenous Maori city, tourist city, Whakatane, which is a more of a fishing city, yep, and then Tauranga, which is a port city. Literally, we export a lot of stuff out of there. But an hour and a half from where we are is the original set of Hobbiton, and we'll take you in there. Well, you'll get in. The guards know me too well. You know what I mean? They really do. But we'll show you around, of course, the party tree and the hobbit holes, all that sort of stuff. Lots of fun to be had there. There really, really is. But, you know, you might be getting the inkling by now when I said the guards know me too well. Bring bail money.
Bail money.
Just in case. You might need a bit of bail money. We've got good lawyers, though.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I can usually talk my way out of those situations. It'll be fine.
No, stum. Never say a word when you're getting arrested. Leave it for your lawyer.
You sound like you know this from experience.
Hello.
Hello? Hello? No, from experience. Oh, no. Yes, believe me, we've done this once or many times before, and now we're starting to know the constabulary on first name basis. You'll be right. You will be fine. You really will. But, you know, I really thought I was the one. But apparently I wasn't. You know, I bet you I'm the one he will never forget. Literally. So tell me, you weren't the one. Why aren't I the one?
Well, we don't have that much time to go through all the points on this show right now.
Yeah, we do.
No, that one I sat down for the writing session, and the buddy I was writing with was kind of humming a melody that was really catchy, and we just kind of started playing around with the chords. And sometimes when you're writing, you don't really sit down knowing what it is you want to write about before you go into it. You kind of just start, you know, humming a melody to, you know, where you think it's going to go, and certain words and lines kind of stick, and that was one of them. And once we had You Weren't the One, it's like, okay, well, what would the story behind this be, and where would we take it? And we kind of worked at it bit by bit and pieced it all together. And that's one of the songs that it might wind up being the last single that goes to radio off this record in January. But if it does, God help me, because the note I hit at the end of the song, if I have to do that live on air at like 8 or 9 in the morning, it's going to be the death of me. Because it's literally at the high end of what I can hit vocally. And if I have to do that on little to no sleep, it's going to be painful.
Well, I tell you what, 1,728 people so far have requested this since we've been playing it. Ty, that's a success. It really is. Here you are at Galaxy, and you weren't the one. How you feeling, my bro?
I'm good.
Nice. Marathon. You must need a stiff drink by now. So, our last song is coming up, Canadian Country Boy, and we're going to release this one publicly. Now, we have played it a number of times, but we haven't said anything to anybody. Okay?
Gotcha.
And we have had a lot of people get back to us wanting to know all about it. You know what I mean? So
Sounds good.
It's created a sensation, and I'm absolutely honoured, Ty, to be able to play this on my radio station here at Galaxy. I really am. And I hope that you're going to come back again. I don't know why you would, but I hope you're going to come back again because I love the quality of your work.
He's got so many songs to release.
Thank you so much.
Now, I've got to ask you, have you been signed by anybody yet?
I haven't. No, I'm completely independent.
Okay, would you consider it if the option came up?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always ears and eyes wide open to any opportunity that comes up.
Okay, well, maybe you'd be interested in what I would have to ask you after we do the interview. What do you reckon?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. I'll put a disclaimer in. I have a friend in the UK who has a label, is looking for talent, and I think you're of that quality because I don't recommend people to my friend. You know what I mean? But I would like to put your name forward. Having said that, he's very accomplished. He's been around for about 15, 20 years doing what he does. He does shows, he does radio, he does podcasts, he does all sorts of things. So this is a whole package put together. But the disclaimer is, we'll introduce you to John, and from there we will leave it for you guys to make up your own relationship. Is that fair enough?
That would be great.
Awesome.
No harm in talking.
No harm in talking, is there?
Pardon?
No harm in talking.
No, not at all.
So, absolutely. So let's go back to the desk. Canadian Country Boy is up next. I'm looking forward to this. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Ty, I've just been told in my headphones that they know why you think you could outdrink me. You come from Waterdown.
Yes, I do.
There you go, Waterdown. What else can we say? No, we drink real liquor here, we do.
Hey, you pour the whiskey and I'll go shot for shot with you.
Nice, nice. Will you pick me up off the ground when you finish?
Maybe.
Yeah? Put me in a cab, kiss me on the forehead, send me home to my wife.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, I keep asking women that all the time. They won't. Nah. Not at all. I had one lady ask me if I wanted to get married. I said, yeah, sure, let me go home and ask my wife. That didn't work too well. It really, really didn't. Now, guys, should I do the 5 questions? No 5 questions.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Please do it.
Ty, we've got to the stage of the radio interview now where we do a little bit of funny stuff. And, well, you know, if you thought what's been leading up to this is funny, this might be a little different. Now, are you familiar with vegan sausages?
I'm not.
Well, welcome to the 5 questions from the 50 Shades of Grant. Now, vegan sausages, you've never tried any?
Nope.
Not once. Yeah. Just
Nope.
trying to figure out whether they're made of real vegans.
That's terrible.
Well, it's better than Girl Guide biscuits, right? Irish coffee, you got to wonder, eh? What's in an Irish coffee? Ah, no, baby oil. What do they reduce babies down into? Oh, my goodness. Are you familiar with James Bond?
Yes.
Okay, Daniel Craig, now retiring from the role as James Bond, did his last one not so long ago, broke his ankle. Now, he was down for 12 weeks. As you can understand in the filming industry and the music industry and everything like that, 12 weeks is a long, expensive time for the organisers, the managers, the franchise owners, everything like that. So they come up with this brilliant idea of now James is going to be Jane Bond, a female. World went nuts. No, absolutely not. Ian Fleming wrote James Bond as a man. It would not suit being as a woman. So leave Moneypenny as Moneypenny. And, well, now they've compromised. James Bond's going to be gay.
Okay.
Do you know what they're going to call him?
What?
07. O7, 007, O7.
Got it.
Right, now you got to wonder what he's going to do with his Walter PPK, right? Dear, oh dear. Are you familiar with politics?
Depends on what politics. Usually I don't pay much attention to it.
Okay, Boris Johnson is the elected Prime Minister of the UK, Britain. New Zealand here, we have Jacinda Ardern. Love Jacinda Ardern, we do. Great work that she's doing at the moment. In Germany, the Chancellor over there is Angela Merkel. Then you've got Donald Trump. Which is the odd one out?
I gotta go with Donald Trump.
Everybody does. Is that because of the colour of his almost impeachment?
That and a number of other things, probably.
Yeah, probably that thing on his head. I wonder what they call that. You know, does it have a room of its own?
It could, for all we know.
Now, you got to wonder about Donald Trump, because if you have a look through his term, he's now stated to the world there's such a thing as aliens and UFOs.
He has now.
He has. Now, figure it out, because he's put together a space army. I'm not kidding. Check it out. He really does. So therefore, literally, one of the highest officers in the world is admitting, really, they lied about UFOs. True. Have a look. Believe me, you'll find it. And if you are super interested in UFOs and things like that, The Unacknowledged. Go and check out the movie, The Unacknowledged. It's coming out very, very soon. You can actually get it on Netflix, or even if you go to YouTube, you can buy it or rent it off there. But believe me, very insightful. It really, really is, because the American government has disclosed millions of documents stating everything there is to know about what they know about UFOs. But hold on, it's disinformation with inside information. So what they're not telling you is that, well, they want a war with another alien planet. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. What they want to do is literally fly their own spacecraft all around the world and take world domination for themselves, claiming it's going to be an alien invasion. Mark my words. Go and check it out, literally. And The Unacknowledged. Check out that movie. Absolutely eye-opening. It really is. Even Steve Tyler. Somebody did an interview with Steve Tyler from Aerosmith. And they said, what about this? He goes, watch The Unacknowledged. And he said it about 15 times, no other word. Unacknowledged. Go for The Unacknowledged. Watch The Unacknowledged. That man is scared. Because the truth.
I'll have to look it up.
The truth is right there. Absolutely. It's absolutely insightful. It is. Now, having said that, we've only done a couple of questions. Here in New Zealand, we employ, and I'm pretty sure you do it in your country as well, politicians to make the hard judgments and make the laws and everything like that, right? What happens when they don't is that they hand it back to us, the public, and they call it a referendum, right?
Yep.
Now, first question there is, why the heck are we paying them if we're making the decisions for them, really? But we have two major ones that are in this forthcoming election, which we think are rather important. The first one is the legalisation of marijuana. What's your views of it being in a country that already has gone there?
I think in a lot of cases, when it was illegal, it wound up having more things laced with it, whether it be fentanyl and stuff like that. And since it's been legalized, that's all kind of gone out the window. So for the people who are using it, whether it's medicinally or otherwise, it's much safer. And if they want to increase the sale of Doritos at 2 in the morning, there's nothing really wrong with that. You've never heard of anybody, smoking a joint and going on a killing spree. They're too lazy to get off the couch after that.
That's
So
true. They want to eat.
Well, unless you're the fridge and then stand, be scared.
Yeah.
Believe me, be scared, because they're coming to get your inside. But we look at it as a medical thing. I don't know pretty much too much about that particular deal. But I've got to be honest with you, if it's for medical reasons and if it helps in any way, shape or form, I'm all for it. I've got to be honest with you. But having said that, you know those little cart kind of things that old people drive on the footpath?
Yep.
Yep. Well, believe me, the other day, I had a little old man driving one. He came from about 3 blocks behind me, full noise, literally yelling at me, going, Grant, Grant, Grant. And I'm going, what's going on? He right down to the candy apple red and the little flag. It was picturesque, it really was. And he says to me, Grant, marijuana oil's good for your joints. I went, really? Okay. Didn't know that. Anyway, second question. And this one's really, really important because I think it affects a good portion of the public around the world. Now, we're talking about the euthanasia bill. And should we or should we not implement the right to take somebody's life? Now, I'm going to tell you my version of it, but first of all, I would love to hear what you say about that.
Well, I think no matter what way you look at it, it's a difficult subject for anybody who's looking on it from the outside. But anyone who's had a friend or a family member who's been struggling with terminal cancer or anything like that, and you see the amount of pain that they go through in the end stages, if you know that you could do something to prevent that pain and suffering, you'd want to be able to do it. I mean, in a lot of cases, we treat animals better than we treat each other, just for the fact that nobody wants to be the one that, oh, well, you know, we ended their life. But in a lot of cases, if the person's in sound mind and they want to make that decision and there's a legitimate reason for that decision to be made, you know, I think preventing pain and suffering in people isn't a bad thing. I think it's a delicate subject that needs to be handled properly, but I think in a lot of cases it can be a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Case by case, I will admit that. But at the same time, we do put our animals down when they have come to that stage of their lives. And believe me, I think it's a humane thing to look at. It really, really is. But again, case by case, we don't want to be going out willy-nilly just killing people off. We're not Kevorkians, really, are we? Really. But having said that, you know, I want to die peacefully in my sleep, much like my grandfather did. And I know a lot of people would like to die peacefully in their sleep, unlike the passengers in his car that were screaming at the time.
That's horrible.
Had to get one in there, I really did. So, Ty, you're a Canadian country boy. Tell me about it.
I am.
Tell me about it, because we're releasing this song right now. Tell me all about it.
Well, when I sat down and wrote that song, you know, I spent a fair bit of time down in the States in Nashville writing and recording and all of that. And the more you travel, you notice that there's differences between how you do things at home and how, you know, other countries and stuff do that. I'm sure it's no different between New Zealand and Australia. That there's a lot of similarities, but there's certain things that are a little bit different. And I sat down the one night and started playing around on the guitar and kind of playing the two sides of it off each other to show what the differences were. And that was one of the songs that kind of came together in, you know, 20-25 minutes. It basically wrote itself. And it's a big reason as to why I have the career that I do now. You know, I put that song out and it did a lot better than I thought it was going to do, and got me a couple coast-to-coast tours, and is a big reason why I get to still do this for a living. So, yeah.
Nice. There is a few differences between us and the Australians. We're bipedal. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, releasing Country Boy, Canadian Country Boy at Galaxy with Ty Baynton and Galaxy 107 FM. Good morning.
It's another shot. You said it wrong.
I said it another shot.
Yeah.
God, I'm going to get drunk today. I like it. You never know. I might actually be saying it wrong on purpose. Oh, look, bro, as I said, I like to rename things, right? I had one lady join us from the band The Quirks, coming out of British Columbia. Her name is Laura Koch, and her husband's name is Ryan. I had my receptionist come in, and her name is Sarah, and they kind of look alike. So halfway through the interview, I'm calling Laura Sarah. Now, that's all well and good, because I was getting a famous reaction as far as the facial expressions went every time I did it, you know what I mean? So it got to a point where I literally renamed her Sarah. She almost started calling herself that. Almost talked her into it, you know what I mean? But I tell you what, she did call her husband Bob.
Well, I mean, you got to rename them every now and then.
Yeah, yeah. Well, she did this thing where she stuck this hat on her husband's head. A lamb hat with ears, right?
Yeah.
And he looked so surreal. He really did. He goes, oh no. You know, so I called him Bob. He looked like a bob. Isn't that what lambs do when they get...
No, I don't call my
So at the end of the show, she literally called him Bob.
Well, hey, so you just renamed me a couple then?
Yeah, I did. You know, so as I said to you, bro, I'm sorry,
Baynton.
Ty. I like to rename things. I do it subconsciously sometimes. You know, just ask Graham and John over here.
I'm not a John.
I'm Barbara.
Anyway, sorry, Barbara. Let's go back to the desk. We'll wrap it up from here, but don't go anywhere, Ty. We have a couple of
We'll
things
call
we're
him
going to do next.
Sandra or something.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM and releasing Canadian Country Boy with Ty Baynton. And yes, I'm going to get very, very drunk because Ty's going to tell me how he pronounces his name right at the end. I've been trying to get him to step in and correct me, but he's not done it. You know,
I'm going to leave you hanging every time.
You're going to leave me hanging?
Yeah, I'm going to let you struggle through it.
Nice, nice. Believe me, I feel like I'm on a bungee now. I do. But believe me, my friend, I would absolutely be elated to have you join us here in New Zealand, have some fun. Maybe by then I'll learn to be able to pronounce your last name properly, and I do apologise, I really, really do. But it's been a fun interview anyway, and I so enjoyed it. Nice of you to bring out Grandad's guitar as well. I was wondering, I really was, compared to that new Flash kind of, you know, modern day guitar, that is a classic. It really, really is. And I hope you take good care of that.
Absolutely, I do.
Can we keep Facebook going and you close off? And
Can we keep
sing us a
Facebook
song?
going and close off?
Yeah, the radio, and we can have a personal
We can
concert.
have a personal concert.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
If he
well,
doesn't
you
mind.
you better ask
No,
Ty.
he said
Actually,
he was going to sing me a song.
Ty's going to sing you. When
Yeah.
did this come around?
Oh, at the
Before you
beginning,
came in.
before
Before I
you
come
came
in.
in.
So
Yeah.
you got to be careful of Barbara. She'll ask things without me knowing it. She
That would
really,
be
really
wonderful
will.
for
So
Facebook Live.
what we're going to do is, and for those of you that are on Facebook right now, this is the end of the interview, and I thank you for joining us. I really, really do. Go and have a look on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and when you get there, subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button, you know the one, mash it. Just give it the death, literally. And then go over and hit those bells. We'll give you notifications every time we do something like this. Maybe or not, you might want to do that, but I would appreciate it. I really would. Thank you, Ty. Don't go anywhere just yet, but in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, you're right here at Galaxy. Good morning.
Kawerau 107 Galaxy FM.
Right, here we go.
It's actually afternoon now.
Yeah.
God, we've been here that long. So, Ty,
What's he going to play?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. Why are you asking?
Probably the guitar.
I'm sorry?
I said probably the guitar.
Yeah, that's a
Okay,
good start.
oh,
There you
nice.
go.
Yeah, and sing.
Yeah, better than the spoons.
Yeah, I can play the spoons.
Can you?
Yeah.
I play the full.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
Right, here we go, folks.
Ty, the stage is yours.
The stage is mine. Well, I'll play you one of the songs I wrote the last time I was down in Nashville, which would have been back in January. It's called If I Knew Now.